Hey everybody, I've got my 2020 up on the lift because we're going to take a look at the bottom here in just a second. I had an issue happen with this car. I dropped it off at the paint protection film ceramic window tint shop a little while back. This was before I even drove the car 10 miles. I put it on the trailer, took it off the trailer, put it in the shop. And they started working on it. Now, before I get into this, this shop is absolutely fantastic. They do custom work, custom hand cup, film work, ceramic window tint, and they just knocked it out of the park in my first car. They knocked it out of the park in this car. But there was a little bit of an issue, and the car got some damage. So I got a phone call that said, Tim, something happened. I was like, okay, what happened? And now, first of all, a little backstory. So I'm an airline pilot, ex-military pilot. Through the years and years of training, you're kind of taught, or you just kind of get used to ruling out emotion, just dealing with the facts. Getting all hysterical solves nothing. So I get this phone call that said there's an issue. Basically, the car was on the lift. Fortunately, it was on, it was low to the ground, maybe a foot off the ground. And they use solid rubber, lift pucks, kind of rectangular lift pucks. One of them was at a slight tilt, and it rolled forward, and the car fell down off the lift. And this lift, it's not like my lift you see here, where the columns are on the outside, the arms come from the outside. This was a lift that lifts from underneath the car, and the arms go outward. They said, so the car fell on the lift and your transmission belly pan is cracked. I said, oh, okay. My initial thought was, this car is now down for months. I've seen some cars on YouTube or Facebook that have had issues, and there's simply not parts available for these cars yet. They're too new. So that was my first concern. I haven't even driven this car yet, and now my fear is the car's down for months while we wait on parts. So they said it's cracked in the corner, it's leaking transmission fluid. With your permission, we'd like to seal it up to keep it from leaking any more fluid. And I said, yeah, by all means, please do that, because if it all drains out, the car is dead in the water. This is an hour and a half across town. So they sealed it up. They said it lost, they actually captured the fluid. Said it lost maybe a half quart of that. I said, all right, good. I'll start working on parts in the dealership and see if we can get repairs set up. In the meantime, just keep working on the ceramic, and the film. So I called my nearest Ford dealer, explained the situation, said the car's brand new, gave him the VIN, and my service advisor, Chris, he got on the taxi, so I'll call you back. So he called me back and he said, you're in luck. The belly pan comes from Tremec, through the Ford system, and it's available. It's a plastic or a composite pan. It's actually the old one sitting down here. We'll go take a look at it in a second. But we can get it. We can actually overnight it. And the service manual calls for 8 quarts, a one-time use seal, and the belly pan, which comes with all new bolts. So we can get it overnighted and get you set up for a tomorrow appointment. Great, gave them the green light on that. They ordered it. The paint protection film shop ended up taking a little bit longer, so it sat there another day and a half. By the time I got it out and home, it was too late for Ford to work on it. But early the next morning, drove it in the trailer, ferried it in the trailer down to the Ford dealer, and pulled it out. And you're going to see here in pictures and video of, again, this car had 10.5, 11 miles, something like that. By the time we got there, I still have yet driven it on the road, and it's going in for repairs. Another issue we had at the dealership was their lifts were not compatible with this super low 2020. So I drove it into the service bay. We initially tried their 2-post lift. Like you see with mine, I've got these ramps that I use to raise up the front because that's where the arms swing under from the back. Their lift was simply not compatible with this low car. So then we took it over to the 4-post lift where you drive it on there. And their ramp angles with the 4-post lifts were too steep. I was going to scrape the splitter. So just the day prior, I had received some trailer race ramps. I had those in my trailer. So I went and got my trailer race ramps, hooked them up to their 4-post lift, and was able to get the car up on the lift. And then they went ahead and did the repairs. All in, the repair bill was $959, and the shop covered it and got the car completely fixed. Now, fortunately, the crack was just on the very corner of the plastic or composite pan. But fortunately, there was no damage inside, no other damage. So that was my concern also, was there was internal damage of the transmission. Nothing. It was just a superficial crack on the outside corner of the belly pan. All right, new pan is in place. Just ran it for a little bit to circulate the fluid. You're going to put some more in?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll get out of your hair. Got the car fixed, and then I left my truck and trailer there and actually drove the car home versus loading it up, and that was the first time I drove the car. I went through the break-in, and everything's perfect. Transmission's perfect, car's perfect. It's awesome. But we're going to go take a look now at the new belly pan in place and the old one that's cracked and sealed up. So here we go. All right, here we go. This is the belly pan 2.0, the new one. As you can see, it's got Tremec's name on there. And all those bolts around the outside, the machine screws or bolts, whatever you want to call them, those all come new with the new belly pan. There's a one-time use seal in there. And the service manual does call for 8 quarts, but it does say that that's the initial fill, and that, refilling it, draining and refilling it, some is trapped up in the transmission, and you may not use all 8. We actually only ended up using 6 quarts. And by the way, those quarts are $50 a piece. Like I said, all told, the repair bill was about, $959, I think, to be exact. But just shy of $1,000. So we'll get a look at it here around. There we go, that's the new one. And we'll take a look at the old one. All right, so here's the old pan. You can see, there's just the holes for all the machine screws. There's 16 of these guys that come with the new pan. They're one-time use screw or machine screw, apparently. Inside the pan, you can see there's kind of veins to feed the fluid down to the low point, and the belly of the pan kind of angles down. And then inside the pan, there's this magnet to catch metal bits. Other than that, you got a drain there. That's for the electronics. And there's a seal that goes around that's inside that groove right there that goes around the outside. Damaged area. So this is the epoxy that the shop put on there. Just cracked the corner. Fortunately, it was superficial. And the inside, you really can't even see it. Maybe just a little hairline crack down there. But nothing got pushed in and hurt the transmission, just enough to start leaking out the fluid. And then here is the fluid. Like I said, we ordered 8 quarts of this GT500 dual clutch transmission fluid. They're very proud of it, $50 a quart. I have 2 quarts left. We only ended up needing 6 for the refill. But that's it. Like I said, the car's fixed. I could have easily freaked out, raised holy hell on these guys. It was a mishap. They solved the problem. They paid for it. But it's all better now. No harm, no foul. And the paint protection film ceramic window tint is superb. I will use this shop again. Freaking out, getting all hysterical solves nothing. Just work through the problem. That's what we did. And works great. So thanks for watching. See you next time.